Hello, YouTube. It is Championdjk coming at you yet again with another weekly episode. And of course, I've got some pretty cool stuff to share with you. A bunch of cool stuff. So let's just get right into it. As usual, we got some mini GT. I've got Porsche 901 1963 in ivory. Always loving the Mini GT. Fantastic diecast in 1/64 scale. One of my favorite brands. We got that one. The Mercedes Maybach S680 in champagne metallic. Champagne metallic. We've got the Oracle Red Bull Racing RB18 #1 Max Verstappen. 2022 Monaco Grand Prix 3rd place. Pretty awesome. These are really cool. And lastly, for Mini GT, we've got the Lamborghini Huracan STO in Nero Noctis. Looking pretty mean in kind of black and yellow kind of look there. We're going to check that out. So those are really neat. We got the Mini GT. I found the last Ultra Hot I needed for the current set, the Volkswagen. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I'm just missing the Ultra Hot Porsche, which is coming from my buddy Jay. Should be coming in the next box I get from him. But the current box I just got from Jay has some cool stuff in it as well. We got the weird to start with, an Earle Corvette. Very cool. Excited to check that guy out. We've got this Majorette Special Forces Chevy Impala. This thing is really kind of interesting and very, very cool. Looking for a date on the back of this. Well, I can't find one right offhand. Maybe we'll find it in the next segment. But this guy comes with a couple of Army men, a couple of Special Forces folks, and an Impala painted military-like with kind of with a light bar on top. So that'll be interesting to get into. A weird Matchbox. He sends me this. This is the Deep Diver. That thing. And weird Johnny Lightning as well. We've got the AMC Metropolitan convertible. I don't think I have an example of this casting from Johnny Lightning, so that is pretty cool to get this guy. Really awesome. So we're going to check that guy out. And then lastly, he sent me this. This is pretty sweet. Honestly, I was debating on getting this, and I just have not pulled the trigger on it. And then he ended up sending me one because he, I think, accidentally ordered one too many, or maybe two too many. He forgets what he pre-orders. And I ended up benefiting from that, usually. And he forgot about getting duplicates of this one. So we got the Jaggermeister Porsche from Tarmac Works. So I've got the Apple one of this casting, and now I got the Jager one. So pretty nifty indeed. So we're going to open up that, of course, and check that out. Really cool looking. Really, really cool looking. So I'm stoked on that. All right. And then we've got some other stuff here. I found this Matchbox collector's wave in stores. I didn't find the whole wave. I found a couple of cars from it. We got the Porsche Cayenne Pepper. And then we've got the 1964 Buick Riviera. And then the 1970 Oldsmobile 442 in blue. So we got those three. I don't like how they don't put the whole wave on the back of the card. That is annoying because I don't know what all is in the set, and then I got to go try to look it up to find out what I'm missing. It's much more convenient to just put that on the back of the card, and then I know. So would you do that, Matchbox? That would be helpful. Thank you very much. All right. Then we got some basic Hot Wheels, of which I found these two in store. New for 2024, the new Keychain Porsche. The Porsche 911 Carrera done up as a keychain. I bought a couple of these. I already put one on my keys, so there's that. And then we got the Ford GT40 in blue. This looks really good, actually. Ford GT40 in blue. Next, we've got some red editions, and these I think all these I bought at the local monthly meet, and I got them from my buddy John. So I got the DMC DeLorean. This is from, I don't even know what wave. End case maybe last year, I think. I might even already have this. I don't know for sure, and I'm just going to open this one because I'm not really sure. And then the latest wave, which we got the 67 Chevy C10. And it almost looks like it's kind of in an Obey style art livery. So that's kind of interesting. I forget the guy that did that stuff. And then we've got the Nissan Skyline RS. And then the DeLorean Alpha 5. It's funny how they call this a red edition and it's all black. It's got red taillights, and it says red on the back. But anyway, we're going to open that up. And then speaking of reds, both of these are from my buddy Diecast. I got the new Mio exclusive Toyota Supra Manga Racing. Really cool. So far we've got the I got the other one close by. I should get it. The R34 from Johnny Lightning. And then we got this one, the Supra from Auto World. Really neat, really cool. Cool card art, cool everything on that. That's really neat. And then I got the ultra red of it as well. So that is pretty nifty. So we're going to look at both of those. We're going to open up both. Then, lastly, I got a couple of Majorettes to look at. We've got this Majorette Terry Newville. I don't know how to pronounce anybody's name. It's a Hyundai i20 Coupe. That's pretty cool. Hyundai Majorette World Rally. That's cool. And then we got this Porsche 934 in Valiant livery. That is pretty neat as well. So stoked on those two Majorettes. So that's going to be it. Let's pull together a thumbnail. What's going to be like the heavy hitters here that it's going to really bring the crowd? I don't know. We could do something like this. Maybe. Look at that ultra red. That's really cool. Oh my. Good. All right, that'll be good. All right, let's go ahead and flip the camera around. I still got, by the way, I still got tons of stuff. I got tons of stuff to get through. I just kind of went on a spree for a minute there with AliExpress, and I've got all this off-brand, unlicensed crap we got to look at. We'll get to it eventually, but we got to get to this stuff today. So let's go ahead and 1 week at a time. Let's go ahead and open this stuff up, and let's get right into it. So stay tuned. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start by getting a look at these Mini GT. We'll start with this guy right here, the Oracle Red Bull Racing RB18, number 1, yada, yada. Go ahead and open it up. I already peeled the plastic from this one. And let's get it out, take a peek. So, as you know, if you watch my channel, I enjoy a Mini GT quite thoroughly indeed. And look at this thing. It is pretty awesome. Look at that. So it's got a metal body. I think is that metal on the base or not? I think the base is plastic. And that doesn't really matter to me if it's plastic. I think it's very nicely done and very, very cool. So really digging the F1 cars, or the racing cars in general, of all types from Mini GT. They just do a really fantastic job. I'm going to lower the camera angle even a little bit on this. Just a little bit. Let's try that. Let's check it out. We can set it down right there. That looks pretty fantastic. So I am definitely digging it. This is really, really neat. So this is the second F1 car that I've picked up so far from Mini GT, and definitely no regrets there. This looks really good. It rolls. What a fantastic little replica. They do such a good job. So I love the packaging from Mini GT. Fantastic. The box with a little blister that protects the car. that is just a great thing. And so I'm going to go ahead and I save all the boxes, obviously, for when I need to store the car, and it's just a really cool thing. So very nifty there. We should line it up with the box. Let's do that. So there is that guy. Really neat. Next is the Porsche 901 1963 in ivory. And I realize I really screwed up here. I didn't bring any tools with me. What am I doing? I've never done this before. All right, let me go get this. This makes things a lot easier. Go ahead and give that a slice. And then we can peel the plastic off with ease. So these are the rest of world, we'll call it, Mini GT. So Mio exclusives that are technically supposed to be the only people really distributing Mini GT in the US. The exclusive US distributor of Mini GT puts them out in the clamshell type packaging with these boxes inside, and then rest of world, you get them like this. I'm a fan of either one. If you're going to buy like duplicates or ones to hang on to or ones to keep carded, the Miho exclusive ones or the M&Joy Toys ones are definitely the solution for you. If you're a U.S. collector that likes his packaged cars and wants to see the vehicles, then without a doubt, you're a package collector. You need to get the Mio exclusive ones because those, you can see the car in the blister. These you cannot. You have to open it up to check it out. So we've got my first Mini GT that's got a locked axle. That thing does not want to roll. It's kind of wild. It's the wheels are just put on so tight that they pinch in here, and the thing does not want to roll. That's too bad, but I don't really roll these things around and play with them anyway, so it's not really a too terrible of a thing, but it is a thing. So this looks pretty good. Look at that Porsche logo on the back there, looking really nice. So Mini GT, of course, you guys are probably all familiar with it, but if you're not, they have metal bases, typically. Metal bases, metal bodies. They have side mirrors that are typically a rubber kind of thing. They have rubber tires. They typically roll. This one really doesn't. They have inserted details for headlights and taillights, and oftentimes some other components that are added as well, some other separate pieces and parts. This is a pretty basic casting from Mini GT, but a pretty cool one nonetheless. We'll go set it over here by its package. And let's go ahead and check out the Maybach. Mercedes Maybach S680 in Champagne metallic. Oh, and by the way, Mini GT is all licensed vehicles. There's no skirting licensing with Mini GT. So if that's an important thing to you, this is a very nice brand to collect because they do the proper thing and get proper licensing and all that before they make their vehicles. As you can see, we got the holographic stickers, and they even have their own holographic sticker to say it's a genuine TSM model. So if that's important to you, that is that. This thing is going to be very fragile. Some of these Mini GTs aren't very fragile, and some of them are. And in this case, look at that guy right there. Look at that Mercedes hood ornament. I don't want to touch that even to try to figure out what exactly it's made out of, because I will be afraid of breaking it off. But look at that. Very well done. Right in the center. Looks like they did a really good job. Maybach up there. It is champagne gold. There's your inserted details for the taillights. I'm totally scared right now of touching the hood of the car because I feel like I'll rip that thing right off. This one does roll very well. This car is very long and very cool though. So I am digging this. This may not fit in a carny case very easily. It seems to be quite long. But lots and lots of details. Mini GT usually doesn't have too many details like in the interior. Like it's sculpted detail okay, but color-wise they don't really worry about it too much. But, and they keep the price point though very low and for a detailed model. And look at this, actually has open spokes. Like it's not a graphic. Like this thing is open spoked. You can see through. It's kind of hard to, but you can see through here. They don't have any brake caliper details or anything like that, but they will be, I think there's going to be some newer castings or newer wheels that will end up getting those in the future. That was one thing that collectors have talked about for a while, and I think they're going to do something about it. I've yet to see it on an actual release, I think, but I believe it's going to happen. All right, next is the Lamborghini Huracan STO Nero Noctis. This thing is wild and crazy. Very, very cool. I love Ferraris. I love Lamborghinis. I like those exotic cars. I think they're cool. Lambo, I think, is really neat because there's just a youthfulness to Lamborghini that Ferrari doesn't have. Ferrari's all like snooty and snobby and sophisticated, and Lamborghini's like wild and crazy colors and, bright stuff and just like, Lamborghini knows how to party, I think. You know what I mean? So let's check it out. They're not as taking themselves so seriously, which is cool. So there's this thing, and it looks pretty cool. So it's in like a bright yellow and a very nice dark black, like pitch black. And again, all the details are there. It looks really good. The wing, that carbon fiber look, inserted details for the taillights, although they are hard to see because the car is black. The detail in the wheel looking really good. And again, those are open holes there. This one rolls really easily and nicely and is quite a nice looking little Lambo. Pretty wild looking Lambo. A little bit of oil residue on the top. That is very typical of die-cast cars. I don't know what the purpose of it is. It might be some sort of, maybe help the paint or something not get, I guess I have no clue. I shouldn't even comment. But usually that wipes off pretty easy. I'm adding fingerprint oils on top of it, but we'll deal with that later. But yeah, there you go. There's that. Pretty nifty. So Mini GT, I'm a big fan of. They're pretty sweet. They're pretty awesome. Another brand that's pretty nifty lately is Tarmac Works. And Tarmac has been doing a lot of, I guess, collabs with other companies. This is an IXO, so likely the casting, I'm going to say, probably comes from IXO, and then the graphic is thing that comes from Tarmac. We got number 307. They also number their cars, but they don't tell you how many of them are actually made, but I wish they would. So Jaggermeister, kind of a famous livery for this era. If I never drank Jaggermeister ever again, I think I would be fine with that. I grew up, or my coming of age as a of age drinker. Jägermeister, that's when Jaeger bombs were like really a big thing at bars. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I'd ever really care to have another one. I would be just fine with never having one of those again. Might have had maybe one or two, or maybe more than that, too many. But yeah, Jägermeister was very popular to mix this with Red Bull back in, I don't know, let's just say 2004. Maybe a little bit before then. But yeah, check that out. Jagger. Really cool. This one doesn't roll. And neither does the Apple version of this casting or whatever. It doesn't roll. It's the same casting, so of course it's not going to. But it is very, very cool. It looks really nice. I actually like it pretty much just as much as the Apple one. I think it looks really good. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. My buddy Jay, who hooked me up with one of these. I'm going to go ahead and actually screw it right back on the bay. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I will display it in the package though, because that's kind of how I roll lately with these acrylic case cars. Because, you know, they give you the display case right there, so that's convenient. All right, we'll set it right over there. All right, very, very neat. What should we look at next? Let's do these Manga Racing Mio exclusives. Pretty nifty. They are limited to 4,800 pieces. I am going to guess. So there's 4,800. I'm going to guess there's probably 100 chases. Maybe? Was that 1 per 48? Or no, my math all screwed up on that? Probably. Whatever. There's probably not that many chases out there. Because 48 times 100 is 4,800. So 100 cases of 48 master cases. Each one has a case. Or each one has a chase. They could have done 1 per 24, though, I think. And then obviously, in that case, there would be 200. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I've got one. I'd probably think there's 200 by the prevalence of how many of these I've seen. I doubt there's only 100, but who knows? Again, really cool, though. They got the graphic on the windshield. Shoot, you know what? Hang on. We have to get that guy to compliment it. This was the first Manga Racing exclusive from Mio. This was a Johnny Lightning. This is their R34 casting. Which is kind of cool. I had to get one of these. And then we've got this Supra, which of course I had to get the Supra because I'm an Auto World fanatic. Take a peek in there. Cool, cool. Cool casting from Auto World. Looks really good. And really good version of it here from Mio exclusive. So I like this. I think it's really neat. I do. We'll go ahead and set that right up there. And then we have the Ultra Red. So let's check that out. Normally I open these things with the scissors. It's a lot easier than trying to use a blade. Hopefully I don't slice my finger off. Hang on one second. Alright, I had someone knocking on my door. We're back to Chasetown. Really cool, dude. Actually, this is really cool. Oh, man. It almost makes me want to get the White Lightning of the other one. This is really neat, actually, because it's ultra red, but it's like a matte finish. Ultra red. With an ultra red base, red tires, red rims. This is really neat, actually. I like how they did this one. A little bit of a goof in the front here with the inserted headlight piece. That's a little unfortunate, but not too bad. I actually might even be able to fix it. Looks like they just did extra glue up in the front that's kind of pushed this up. You know, will I mess with that? Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. We'll just leave it as is. But pretty nifty. Pretty nifty to get the chase and this at once. So that is pretty cool. All right, speaking of reds, I think it would be appropriate now to go into our red edition Target cars. We've got the DeLorean here first. I like this DeLorean casting from Hot Wheels. Still think I would like to see a DMC DeLorean done by like Mini GT and Auto World or something like that. Auto World, I mean, I could see maybe not doing it because you're not going to have very many paint colors to choose from, since really, if you wanted to do just the real car. But I still think it's really neat. And this red edition is pretty cool. I'm having deja vu with this, thinking I do already have it, but I guess worst case scenario, now I got two. It's a mainline car anyway, so big deal. All right, so there's that. And then we've got the 67 Chevy C10. This so looks like it's like inspired by like Obey graphics, Hot Wheels art cars. It just seems like it's really done in that art style. Very well, maybe. Keep driving. Okay, we'll do. We'll keep on going. Pretty nifty. And then we got the two like black red editions. We've got the Nissan Skyline RS. This is the hard one to find. I actually subsequently did find these reds in store, but I did not find this one. I found the DeLorean and I found the truck, but not this one. And not that DeLorean. This DeLorean. Yeah. Pretty cool. I like this casting. I dig the casting. I think it's neat. So I like that. And then we've got the DeLorean Alpha in like a matte black. Kind of nifty. I don't know. What do you guys think? Definitely digging the old style DeLorean a little better. Actually, quite a bit more. This thing just kind of looks like a Tesla a little bit, with a little bit more aggressiveness looking, but you know, and it's not a bad looking car. It's just not. I like the straight lines and angular kind of look. You know, it's kind of what I'm into. That's what I like. So, yeah, sticking with that. All right. More Hot Wheels before we get into the other stuff. We got this Ultra Hot, another kind of Target thing. This is in Spectra Flame yellow, gold, whatever, what have you, with gold Ultra Hots. I love this Ultra Hot series. I'm a big fan of it. Huge fan of it. Get really excited when a new wave of these comes out. I just really like them. So there's that. Childhood favorite, Ultra Hot Wheels. Dig them. Think they're awesome. Love this series. I love the basic kind of the theme of the graphics for them. I think they're cool. And yeah, I just really like them. So you may not. I do. I think they're really neat. This one took a minute to find. And finally found it. And I was excited to find it. So that's fun too. Then we got the this guy. The Keychain Porsche. I'll actually probably grab a bunch of these as I find them. Because, really, it's $1 keychain. It's $1 for a Hot Wheels keychain. I think it's cool. It doesn't come with a key ring, but I think these are super cool. I love this little keychain idea. I think it's fantastic. I will definitely collect all of these. I got a bunch of the original ones in different colors. And then I think now that they did a Porsche like this is really neat. I think they'll probably do some other ones. But how cool is that? I think it's super cool. It was a cool idea, great idea. Whoever came up with this idea at Mattel, whatever designer, whoever decided, hey, let's do this. Good idea. You did a good job. And honestly, the keychain before this one was probably one of the best-selling like fantasy castings, I would argue, in a long time. So. Great idea. Genius idea. All right. Ford GT40. This casting's been around for a long time. And I collect it. So I am excited sometimes when they come up with a new one of these. It's not the best looking GT40 casting of all the different options you got from different brands and all that. This casting debuted in 1999, probably 2000. So it's older. but it's still got some charm, and I think it's pretty good. I do get any of these that come out of this Ford GT40. Of course, the Ford GT40 in general, one of my favorite cars of all time, and I gotta get any casting of it in 1/64, of course. All right, sticking with Mattel, we'll do Matchbox. We got the Matchbox Collectors series. Found these, I think, at Walmart. So these come in this packaging with a box. Love a collector box. There is the car. It's kind of a almost Spectraflamish looking yellow-green box. These are actually rubber tires. They kind of look plastic in a way, but they are rubber. No opening features or parts on this, but it does have full tampo graphic action. And they are tampos, not the dot matrixy print of the Hot Wheels premium cars. And that's a good thing. So, pretty decent. Pretty much digging it. Not the most exciting Porsche ever. Not at all, but pretty decent looking Matchbox, so we'll take it. And then we got the Oldsmobile 442. This looks kind of cool, but man, did they make the stance on this too high. I mean, I know this car doesn't sit low, but I don't know. They made it just like a little bit too... Oh, metal base? Yeah, buddy. It does. That's interesting. You don't see that often with Matchbox at all. This thing has a metal base. That's interesting. So, metal base, it's got the all-around tampos. This one has opening doors. So if you like the opening features, this one's got it. Rubber tires. Not the best looking wheels, but decent. They look kind of like they're chipping off, which is weird, but it's like almost like the chrome is chipping off. Not straight out of the box like that, and appears to be like that on both sides. So maybe an issue with the chrome sticking to that plastic. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but it does look kind of bad. But the metal base is really cool. And now that I got it out of the package, I think I like it a little bit better. It does sit just a little bit high, I think. Kind of. There's something proportionately off about it, in my opinion. And then following it up, we've got the Buick Riviera. This appears to have the same wheels as the Olds. Box, get the box out of here. Packaging out of here. This one is red. This one's also got opening doors. It has a plastic base. But again, those wheels, like the chrome looks really sloppy on them. So that's a little bit weird. Opening doors. So it rolls nice. Decent car. This thing is copyright date 2022. This thing's a new casting, right? Brand new. Copyright date 2023. Yeah, what about this one? This one's a little bit older, right? 2021. Okay. Gives you an idea of the age of the casting. It's decent. It's decent. All right. Sticking with stuff that has opening parts sometimes and rubber tires and all that. We can go with Majorette. Majorette Deluxe Assortment. This is the Hyundai i20 Coupe. Similar packaging. Box. Car. Rubber tires. All over graphics. Sharp graphics, by the way, Not, this says like all over graphics, not just like all over Tampa, but all over graphics. Sharp. And there's a little Hyundai logo. Looks kind of bad. But other than that, it's sharp. Sharp. Looks good. Looks very good. These little rally cars from Majorette are really cool. So definitely digging this Hyundai. Not a lot of people make Hyundai in diecast. That'll probably change. But yeah, really, really cool. That is pretty nifty. And then we got this Porsche 934 Valiant. Same sort of packaging. Got the box. Got the car. And here's the Porsche. I've got a bunch of different versions of this casting. This thing also has opening doors, rubber tires. It's also made in Thailand as well. Same as the Matchbox. So, kind of interesting there. Got suspension. These things all have suspension, by the way, as well. That's kind of a neat feature of Majorette. I like the Majorette stuff. I'm a fan of them. I get lots of them. Anytime I see one that's cool and I don't have it, I pick it up. And sometimes even when it's not that cool, I don't have it, I pick it up. And sometimes when it is cool and I already do have it, I accidentally pick it up. So that shows you I like them. And this is pretty nifty. Good Porsche. It's cool. All right. Kind of Fuchs style wheels. It's cool. All right. Moving on. Johnny Lightning. Let's go to a Johnny Lightning. Actually, no. Sticking with Matchbox. Let's do this weird Matchbox. We got Matchbox Majorette combo. Let's do this thing. Matchbox. Deep Diver. Older Matchbox packaging. I remember this packaging. This is kind of when I started collecting Hot Wheels. This is the Matchbox that was out. That'd be like 2014, 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. This thing's like kind of a heavy-duty casting. It's mostly metal. I think it's like all metal. A bit weird, a bit odd. I would be terrified to go down underwater in something like that. Terrified. I'd almost rather go in space. Actually, I know it. I think I'd rather be launched. If I had a choice between, hey, you can go down deep sea in a submarine, and no, this is not because of somewhat recent events. If I had a choice of going underwater and exploring underwater and stuff like that, or I was like, you can go, orbit the Earth, and not just because orbiting the Earth would be way cooler, I'd be way less scared to go up than to go down. I'm just saying. That's me. All right. And then Majorette. So we got this weird Majorette. Special Forces. Military Police. What? Do we have a date? You and I, Majorette? Not that I can see. The back is in all sorts of different languages. This is going to be an actual... Is this a made in France one? Or whatever, what have you? I doubt it. Probably not. This is a made in Thailand as well. Not old enough to be that. So we've got the Special Forces dudes. This guy appears to be throwing a grenade of some sort. These are going to be like World War maybe II era soldiers. Lots of plastic flashing on them. Little plastic army men. Popular toy back in the day. And then we've got the Majorette Impala. Police car. Military police. Chevy Impala, 169 scale, number 240. So Majorette has been kind of true to the roots, really, if you think about it. It's because they still got the suspension like they did, although the suspension was much more. Look at that. I mean, that. Should almost do slow-mo of that. That is springy suspension. That's very cool. Metal base. And, you know, they just don't make them like they used to, but they kind of try to. This one's got opening doors. Ooh, I'm kind of afraid to open the other one. These ones are the opening doors that if you kind of like shut them fast and not quite right, they'll pop out of like the socket thing. I don't want to do that. Light bar on this one. All over graphics, sort of. It doesn't have any headlights or taillights, but this is a really cool piece. I love the Majorettes. Actually, the Majorettes from this era with like the 8-dot, kind of like Matchbox style 8-dot wheels. These are pretty cool. I dig them. There's definitely a charm to these. I think they're really neat. And anytime I see a mint like older Majorette like this, I'm tempted to grab it. So this is a really cool piece. And then we've got another weird one, Earle. The Earle Vet, sold at Ben Franklin for $1.19. 20 cents more than like a Hot Wheels would have been, right? Or something like that. It's made in the U.S. Made in the USA by the Earle Company in Dyersville, Iowa, subsidiary of Kitty Incorporated. So that is pretty cool. You can collect all 4 made in America die-cast replicas, by the way, the Firebird, Corvette, Charger, and a Fiero. And they're made cheaply. So these do not have interiors, I don't think. Yeah, that does not. That's why it's all blacked out. No interior in this one. Kind of made. No, it's just metal body. Metal body, plastic base, no interior. Riveted construction. Plastic wheels. It looks cool. It's neat. But yeah, this is what it was. Die-cast replica, 1/64 scale Corvette. Not as good as Hot Wheels, not as good as Matchbox, not as good as Majorette. It's Earle. Earle made some cool stuff though, and these have a certain level of charm to them as well. And I dig them. I mean, I think they're kind of neat. They roll, all that good stuff. Roll pretty good too. Pretty nifty. And then lastly, we got a Johnny Lightning, a 1961 AMC Metropolitan convertible. What a cool little car. Obviously not 1/64 scale. It's larger than 1/64 scale. This is in the resealable Johnny Lightning package. If you cut it in the bottom, I could have opened it and resealed it. It was an interesting idea for the time. And then there's that little card that these came with. This is a classic gold. There's kind of a adult supervision is required, but you can cut the bottom and then you can reseal the package. That's kind of neat. But here's your Metropolitan. Here's your 50s fridge or whatever. What a goofy looking car. Definitely cool, but what a goofy looking car. This thing has rubber tires, metal body, metal base. It's got your standard kind of Johnny Lightning look and feel to it. And it is quite cool. All right, so that is going to be it for this episode. We got a sea of cars here. What are my favorites of the day? Well, I don't know. That hard pressed not to say that's my fave, but I really do like that as well. I like that I got that. These are always a winner, so that's pretty cool too. Lots of cool stuff. This was actually a really neat one today too. So yeah, lots of neat little die-cast replicas. It just never ends, you know, never ends. I've got piles of stuff to show you yet. Literally piles. Literally piles. So I don't think I'll ever catch up. So stay tuned for more episodes, because there's going to be more. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. Another long weekly episode. Really do appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.